right, studio time check says it's 37 minutes gone past 6 a.m. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of all your state. We're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House located along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Today is the 13th day in March 2026. I welcome you to Perspectives Unlimited, your number one newspaper analysis show in the whole of your state. You're welcome, welcome, and welcome. It's a Friday morning. First of all, I must apologize. The show is starting a few minutes behind schedule, but thank you so much for staying patient with us and staying on. Thank you so much. We're going to have, very interesting discussions on the show this morning. Before we get to it, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, where we're currently streaming live at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. I'll take that again on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Now, you can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X at Wells Radio 893. Of course, you can listen to us via our website. If you're out of town, if you forgot your radio at home, you can listen with your phone as long as you have internet connection. Just go to www.wellsradio893.com. I'll take that again, www.wellsradio893.com. All right. This morning, we'll be taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. I know you're used to a certain way on Fridays, but this morning will just be headlines. We're not taking a look at what has happened through the week. It's just going to be a look at the headlines and discussions on the stories, helping you understand the stories alongside my analysts this morning. Let's get to the front pages. My name is Bolanle Odekwayola. Yes, let's get to the front pages this morning. We'll start with the front page of the Punch newspaper, where the lead headline says, States demand forensic audit of $8.8 billion crude for loan deals. The writer says NNPC faces fresh pressure over heavy crude-backed loan transactions. Another writer says FAAC flags crude-backed borrowing, opaque deductions, and finally, states want legislative approval for future crude for loan deals. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines: Nigerians most exploited by telecom and energy firms. That's from the FCCPC. That story is on page 23. Court bars Ayedatiwa from contesting 2028 governorship election. You find that on page 44 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Terror attacks. Tinubu approves fresh military hardware after security talks. That's on page 18. Disu Egbetokun, I never dreamed of becoming IG. That's on page 7. And in business, poverty rate jumps to 63% after subsidy removal. That's according to a report on the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the lead headline says, the Middle East war disrupts fertilizer supplies, puts food security at risk. The writer says Iran's new supreme leader vows revenge, orders Strait of Hormuz closure. We are monitoring fuel price volatility, says FCCPC. You find that story on pages 3, 5, and 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. More headlines. Appeal Court affirms Oluyede as PDP governorship candidate in Ekiti. That story is on page 22. Nigeria in far stronger position to navigate renewed global shocks, says CBN governor. Hails 200% rise in capital investment inflows in 2 years. That's on page 26. More headlines on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Tinubu meets service chiefs, IGP. Don't lose hope in our capacity. Defense minister pleads with Nigerians. Says terrorists losing grounds. Troops foil coordinated terrorist attacks. Kill over 20 insurgents in Yobe. You find that story on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Reps move to a certain territorial status of Eba Island. That's on page 2. 9 senators defect to ADC. 12 reps join APC and ADC. Tambuwal, Abari, Baking, Gibe. 6 others join ADC in Senate. Accord, NDC get 1 each. That's the reason on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, power outage may worsen as gas supply drops. That's on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, continued on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. More headlines. Rainfall destroys over 40 houses in Kogi. That's on page 8. Airfares may rise as aviation fuel hits 1,835 naira per litre. That's on page 19. 181 Nigerians repatriated from Libya. You'll find that on page 25 of the Daily Trust. Troops kill ISWAP commander. 20 other terrorists in Yobe. That's on page 7. Sokoto, Zamfara, Kano, others listed as high risk for meningitis. That's on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. These and many more are some of the headlines we're going to be taking a deeper look at this morning on Perspectives Unlimited. I'll welcome our analyst at this point, Mr. Alaliko Sanni. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, madam.
How do you do?
How do you do?
All right, you're welcome, sir. We're taking a look at a lot of headlines this morning, but just, quick banter. I'd like us to talk about something that the FCCPC has, the FCCPC has finally decided to come out and, talk. And they say that Nigerians are most exploited by telecom and energy firms. Can you help us, help us know what are the duties of the FCCPC?
Thank you very much. The duty of the FCCPC is to protect consumers against exploitation.
So they are the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to safeguard Nigerian
the citizens from exploitation.
Good. Now, the FCCPC has come out to say that Nigerians are exploited by energy. Does their job just include talking? We've heard the FCCPC speak about different things at different points, but what really, must they do to actually protect Nigerians?
Thank you very much, madam. They should have a mechanism, which I know they do, to know your cost of input and then determine the price tag you are going to put on the product or service you are producing, so that you are going to have your decent profit, but you won't necessarily be profiteering from the people. That's exactly what they should be doing. And let's go into specifics. I have always said it in this studio that the cost of energy should not be anywhere near, cost of power should not be anywhere near 200 and whatever. That in my opinion, it shouldn't be more than 100 naira. That's max. I have said it in the studio before.
Should be affordable.
Should be affordable. And we're not saying that, just make it affordable. You have no reason to take it where it is in the first instance. It ought to be affordable. It is not affordable right now simply because of the fact that some people are exploiting the system. Ordinarily, it should be. Let's now talk about, telecoms people. In all seriousness, I have said it in the studio before in one of your Yoruba programs, and I'll say it again. Everybody in charge of regulation, especially pricing regulation at the NCC, should be arrested and charged with treason. And the reason for that is that you held a meeting after these guys cried to the whole world that, we are sinking and all of that. Let us
They're spending a lot. They need to increase by so percentage.
Thank you. The NCC now said, increase by 50%. What that means is that if you are charging 100 naira for a service, you should not exceed 150. If you like, you can even do 120. Just don't exceed 150. Guess what? These guys doubled and even tripled their charges in some instances. And that shouldn't be.
And the NCC hasn't done anything.
And the NCC has not said a word. The FCCPC that can actually take over the role of the NCC is only barking like a toothless dog. I mean, that's nonsense.
All right.
Right now, we have two agencies that can step in aside the FCCPC. Number one is NERC, Electricity Regulatory Commission. That's for power. And for telecommunications, NCC. And, people have been complaining, our laws are this, our laws are that. I don't have any problem with the laws of this land. Because, there are so very many measures that can protect the people. The problem is execution. can you imagine a scenario where the NERC is genuinely kneeling on the necks of Gencos, Discos, whatever? The NCC is doing the same for the telecoms guys.
Working.
And there is an extra agency called FCCPC backing these two guys. These two guys that, you private operators, public operators, no matter, as the case may be, you must bring this thing down. Nigerians are not going to. And let me tell you something, madam, before we leave this particular topic. The telecoms guys said that, we don't have enough money to power all our masts and all of that. I can tell you free of charge that at least two masts that were not being powered 24/7 when they were charging, what they were charging status quo ante before now, are still not being powered regularly till today. They switch them on.
Seem to be having more network disruptions.
They switch them on sometimes, they switch them off sometimes. So what exactly is the essence of the increase that you asked for?
All right, for Nigerians who care to, file a complaint with the FCCPC, the thing is, it's easy for us to say that the system doesn't work if we don't try, right? So I want to challenge Nigerians out there this morning. If you have an issue that is consumer related, I say this because I'm on the website of the FCCPC and they have testimonials. They have testimonials from Nigerians. I don't know how true these testimonials are.
Let me say something.
But they have written testimonials.
Let me say something here. They used to be CPC, Consumer Protection Council.
Yeah.
Now CPC, FCCPC, whatever. I'm not interested in their name because they're not effective. I sent an email to them. That must have been around 2010 or thereabouts. Unless I'm going to get a reply today.
All right. Let's try again until it works. If you want to file a complaint, a consumer-based complaint, the first thing the FCCPC says you should do is to contact the seller or the service provider. Now, if you're not satisfied with the resolution, you need to complain to the FCCPC. How do you do that? You submit and monitor your complaint through the FCCPC Consumer Complaint Portal at www.fccpc.gov.ng, or you can download their dedicated mobile app on Google Play Store or the iOS App Store. You can also file a complaint at any of their offices across the country. Your complaint must state the following: an outline of the important facts of the case, the specific problem, what you have done to try to resolve the problem, the remedies that you seek, and any other information that you consider relevant. Of course, you must attach the correspondence or the documents between you and the seller or the service provider. I challenge you this morning to reach out to the FCCPC, and I challenge the FCCPC as well to do what their jobs are as Nigerians, because we can't verify when the agency's executive vice chairman Tunji Bello said yesterday that the commission has resolved more than 9,000 complaints and recovered over 10 billion naira for consumers between March and August 2025 alone. So if for example, your network provider has taken your money and they're not giving it back, please report to the FCCPC and let them get your money back for you, and do well to get back to us on the matter. All right, let's take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning. President Bola Tinubu yesterday approved the procurement of new equipment for the armed forces and other security agencies to enhance the fight against terrorism and banditry across the country. This headline is on the Punch newspaper. Terror attacks. Tinubu approves fresh military hardware after security talks. Now, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, said this to us after a nearly 2-hour security meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. He said the president has, keyword being, promised more equipment for them to be able to protect the nation, and they assure victory. He didn't specify the type or quantity of equipment that was approved, and but he just said that the mission of the meeting was to review events and to brief the president on the current situation on ground. Mr. Sanni, we know that over the course of this week and even the past week, we've been hearing lots of complaints about terror attacks going on in some going on more in Kwara and also in I believe is it Ekiti state, and of course we cannot discount those that are still happening in the northern Nigeria.
And even
we
your state.
hear that Okay, we hear that military personnel were also attacked.
Military bases are
on their
currently
base.
being
Yes,
overrun.
on their base. And I remember when General Christopher Musa was sworn in. And on social media, it was as though we had a new messiah because, they said, oh, he's been on one side of the divide before, now he's on the other side of the divide. Oh, he's going to be able to, navigate the bottlenecks that didn't, help, that stopped him from doing his job when he was on the other side of the divide. Can we give General Christopher Musa a mark? Can we give him a score as to how he has performed so far? Or is it too early?
No, it's not too early. In all seriousness, I would have loved to give him an F, but that is even too generous. Let's just declare his script as missing script. He's missing in action as far as I'm concerned.
Why do you say this?
I have not seen anything whatsoever that can say, oh, this is as a result of Musa being in office. I got from one of my intels that in the 7 days of last week, Nigeria lost around 100 military personnel to these people. 100. And a lot of military bases were being overrun in Borno, in Yobe, in Adamawa, name it. Oyo State here, we know what is happening. Kwara State, we know what is happening. Ekiti, Ondo, Kogi, almost every corner of the country. If you are the Minister of Defense and things keep degenerating, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. When he was Chief of Defense Staff, Nigeria lost a lot of ground to these people. A lot of territory went into the hands of these people. And it's still the same thing. I mean, were you expecting something different?
I mean, people did say that there was a lot of bottlenecks, and now that he is on the other half of the divide, he'll be able to clear them to ensure that the people are able to work.
There was no bottleneck whatsoever. When you are the Chief of Defense Staff, the only person that is above you is the Commander-in-Chief, not even the Vice President. That's the only person that you listen to. And he said something. It's as Chief of Defense Staff, and I am quoting him here. Oh, boys, he was at a particular military base in Kaduna then. He went there to, speak to the personnel there. And he said, I am giving you a go-ahead in advance. Should you see anything that threatens you, anything that threatens Nigeria, do not wait for any order. Open fire immediately. He said it. These are not my words. These are his words. He said, open fire immediately. So if they didn't open fire then, what type of fire do they want to open and where is that fire coming from? When he became Chief of Defense Staff, Nigeria only had issues in Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Borno.
It hadn't gotten to southern Nigeria.
Before talking about southern Nigeria, let's even talk about the north. There was no crisis whatsoever in Bauchi. There was no crisis whatsoever in Kano. No crisis whatsoever in Kebbi, Jigawa, Niger, Kogi, Kwara. This guy became Chief of Defense Staff, and all these states became battlefield. It didn't end there. It slipped down to the south. Now, Ondo is not what it used to be. Ekiti is not what it used to be. Oyo is no longer what it used to be. Osun is no longer what it used to be. As far as I'm concerned, not just him. I mean, everybody doing security work in this country should be disengaged.
Now, he's told us that the security forces have, talking about the series of attacks, he said the security forces have risen up to the occasion.
Okay.
And
by losing military bases.
That they have put the record straight.
Okay.
That and the president, has continued to support the armed forces. The problem we have, we've heard time and time again, Mr. Sanni, that these terrorists have more arms. They're better armed, and and this is some of our troops in the forest are not well armed, and we can see from this meeting now that they say the president has promised more hardware.
Okay.
Is it is it an arms problem, or is it more than that?
Let me bust that bubble immediately. They were nowhere nearly as armed as our military guys. I'm talking about the bad boys here. I have sent them AK-47 rifles, max GPMGs. I mean,
we heard at a point that they infiltrated an army base with a drone.
I'm coming there. General purpose machine guns, and recently they have been using drones. This is going to give birth to a new topic. The very first thing is this: how did these guys get drones? That is one of the reasons why I do not trust the West. You don't buy military drones over the internet. You can get guns, you can get bullets fairly easily. But drones, these are things that come directly from the manufacturer to the end user. There is no middle place for it, no room for middleman. Let's now go back to the topic. They do not have fighter jets. They do not have armored personnel carriers. They do not have armored tanks. We have these things in abundance. And you must remember what happened when some boys struck Benin Republic. They wanted to take over government. Nigeria scrambled 3 fighter jets immediately, and they dislodged those guys in a jiffy. In less than 30 minutes, everything was over. But in our own country, the reverse is the case. These guys go to military bases, they ransack the bases, steal guns. And I should tell you that all these guns that they are operating, a lot of them are actually guns burnt. I'm telling you, the NSA told us that. The National Security Advisor told us that. So it's not about them being better armed. It's about them not waking up to their responsibility. When I said them not waking up to their responsibility, I don't mean the rank and file. I do not mean the rank and file. Those guys are leadership. Those guys are giving out everything. In fact, everything and more. I am actually accusing the leadership of being ineffective, in my opinion. Beyond ineffectiveness, what has been coming in all these years has been money. Money. The hardware that the president approved for them to get yesterday is not going to come by mere word of mouth. We're talking about serious money here. Serious money here. Year in, year out. Money goes in, insecurity comes out. I mean, I believe all of them should be probed.
All right. In the past week alone, the military has lost at least 3 commanding officers in charge of forward operation bases. There's been a surge in attacks on security formation and personnel. Many other men of the military have also been lost, and many lives have been lost, including that of civilians as well. And General Musa has said that this kind of attacks are normal with terrorists during the Ramadan period because they feel that when they die, they're going to heaven. But civilians don't want to die, and the military men who are out there in the field also don't want to. Apologies, we'll take a short break now. When we come back from the break, Perspectives Unlimited will continue. Please don't go anywhere. Just stay with us.
Do you want to eat and stay healthy? Are you looking for healthy, high-quality chickens? Do you desire to start your own poultry farm? SMC Foods is your reliable plug for your healthy chickens. We specialize in the sales of premium and healthy chickens and poultry produce. We offer consultation services for your poultry farm setups. We are located at Oluyole Extension, Olusoji, Ibadan. To place your order or for enquiries, call Modupe on 0813-970-3731. At SMC Foods, we are reliable, tested, and trusted.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903-936-8185. Call Toby on 0803-509-3394. Ayo on 0706-840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
All right, you're welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your #1 family radio in the whole of Oyo State. All right. We're also taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. Court bars Ayedatiwa from contesting 2028 governorship elections. Of course, the Federal High Court sitting in Akure, Ondo State, has stopped the purported ambition of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa to contest for a second term in office in 2028. Apparently, an APC chieftain had filed a suit at the court seeking the interpretation of Section 137, subsection 3 of the Constitution regarding the eligibility of Ayedatiwa and his deputy to contest for a second term. And judgment has been delivered. And the court has said that the suit is not speculative or academic. He's saying that he cannot contest. He can't contest in the 2028 election. He was sworn in on December 27, 2023 to complete the tenure of the late governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, God rest his soul, and then subsequently inaugurated on 2025 after winning the 2024 governorship election. So I'll count with my hands. 2023,
even if 1 month,
24, 25, 26. Well, in 2026, 27 and 28, that'll give him 6 years. Not up to 6, 5 years.
Just 1 month in December.
So let's just say 5 years. And so if he has to contest again,
then it will be in office for at
9
least
years.
9 years.
And our constitution only gives space for 8 years. Now, you know that we had this issue with President Goodluck Jonathan as well, former President Goodluck Jonathan, but he was allowed to, he contested without any problems.
Thank you very much. While you, okay.
Let's take this call, apologies. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Adirunke from Muslim.
You're welcome, Adirunke. Please go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead. Let's have your contribution.
Yeah, concerning the address the president giving to security.
All right.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please
Hello?
go ahead.
Concerning the address the president giving to security architecture, to me, I think one of the reasons why the security of this country can't work is that the presidency and the security chief always come after to say what they talk in meeting, which is supposed to be secret. So security plans shouldn't be made public until after the execution. So I think they should have making this secret. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right. I know people have said things along the line of what she just said now, that why you spilling out all your security information. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning to you, ma.
Ruth calling from Malawi.
You're welcome, Ruth. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, ma. You know, we are really tired of empty promises that we are doing this, we are doing that to end insecurity. What we want from our government is action. Giving them bulletproof or anything. What we want from them is action, because people are still being killed and snapped every day. So they should please act fast. So, and they should stop giving all those information, pages of newspaper that the first caller said. That's it. Because since they have been saying it, have they apprehended any bandits? No. So is bandits coming out to tell us they want to operate today? No. So our government should be more proactive than this now. Good morning.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
No, let me say something about that. The target, the intent is not to arrest the situation. It's, as far as I'm concerned, politics on the war scene, making Nigerians believe that, oh, things are getting better. Propaganda, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Let's now go back to Mr. Ayedatiwa. You said something about Goodluck Jonathan. The Constitution says that you will not be sworn into office more than twice, and you will not be exceeding 8 years in office. The same Constitution says that should a principal die, the deputy is going to step in and complete his term. But the Constitution did not say before that that will be deemed as your full term. In 2017, the National Assembly now amended that particular section to say that if you, for any reason, complete the tenure of your principal, you will be regarded as though you have completed a full term. So if you are now seeking re-election, it can only be for 1 term. I believe within my mind that Goodluck Jonathan is actually free to contest for this office again. And the reason for that is that laws cannot be reversed. They only take effect from the day they can't be backdated. When Jonathan wanted to contest in 2015, some people went to court and the court said, you can go ahead. There was no clear-cut definition of when your term is going to expire, actually, if you are completing the tenure of your principal. But now it has been stated clearly that should you complete the tenure, even if it's just for one day, then it's like you have spent 4 years in the office. So if you are contesting again, you're only eligible for one more term. Let me say some hard truth to Mr. Idatiwa. As far as I'm concerned, the guy is not doing well. I don't blame him for that. I blame the people of Ondo State, because you saw the video at AGBEYEWO. We have collected money and we have voted. I saw that video. If you didn't see it, Madam Bola,
the elderly woman.
The elderly woman. So it's what the people of Ondo want that they have gotten. But the point is this: if you happen to hold a public office, common sense, conscience should tell you that you should focus on your job. This guy is not even it wasn't up to a year in office when all of this drama started. Guy, you have 4 years to spend in office. You're not talking about how to bring about lasting legacies, positive legacies that the people are going to enjoy. Rather, you're talking about, in all seriousness, even if I was a judge and I want to, adjudicate on something like this, I will be very, very mean to the complainant, because we shouldn't be talking about this for now. Let's see what you want to do. If you do something meaningful, maybe I can even find a way to say, continue what you are doing. I can create a lacuna for you that you can even take to the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. But less than a year in office, when you have 4 years, you're talking about this, you must get out.
All right, that's from Ondo State. It's just unfortunate that the laws have been changed now that it's his turn. So do we say that every vice and deputy will start praying for the principal to live through the entire tenure?
That may not be the prayer point. The prayer point is that, Benny, if you want buying sharp as you enter office, so
that you can use the majority part of the 4 years. All right. I'd like us to talk about this. It's not very popular in the headlines, but it's very, very important when it comes to our health. We must also say that we already discussed that yesterday. The amendment to the Electoral Act that was done by the House of Reps. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, the headline says, Reps probe contamination risks from locally made grinding machines. The phone lines are open. Apologies to our not regular callers. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. I'll take the numbers again: 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. I particularly love to hear from Mr. Agbenga Mario. We advised him on Tuesday to he told us about the prices of buses and cars from Ibadan to Abeokuta, where he works, and he made mention of the fact that he patronizes because of high prices, he had to patronize the Sole bus, and we advised him. So I'd love to hear from Mr. Mario this morning. Number one, to be sure that he's safe, and number two, to be sure that he took our advice. Anyway, the headline says, Reps probe contamination risks from locally made grinding machines. Now, the House of Representatives has called for an urgent investigation into the alleged contamination of food processed with locally fabricated grinding machines widely used in markets and food processing centers across the country. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved during plenary by the member representing Ekpe Federal Constituency of Lagos State, Wale Raji. Now, leading the debate, the lawmakers said growing concerns had been raised by the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, over the potential health risks associated with the use of locally fabricated grinding machines for processing common food items. I had read from a manufacturer on Facebook, Moped Foods, who was the first person that raised the alarm about months ago, I believe even last year, that they tested, they had to get a locally fabricated grinding machine.
Olo.
Lota that we...
They're talking about Olo here.
No, not the one... It's not the one with... not the one with...
stone.
Yeah, no, not that one. That
blue
colored one that they use in the markets. That's what they're talking about. Okay. It's a grinding machine. And the food manufacturer had said that ideally, all her grinding machines are food grade, sourced from outside of the country. But for some reason, she had, issues with grinding a particular ingredient. Okay. And the food grade machines are expensive. So someone then suggested, why not get someone to come and make, this one for you, and then you use it for that particular ingredient.
Whatever you want to grind.
But she said, upon testing the final results, they found that there were iron filings. There was, at least a percentage of iron filings in the food. And, by the time they did their investigations, they found out that the culprit was this locally fabricated machine. So what we're hearing is that these machines release a certain amount of lead,
zinc,
copper, chromium, nickel, cadmium, and manganese into the food. These are heavy metals that should not be processed by our bodies and should not go into our bodies. The problem has been identified. Now, of course, by the time the health agencies want to look at the solutions, it may involve the eradication of these machines from the markets. I'll take you back to Lagos, where the government also took a look at plastics, single-use plastics, and talked about how they, number one, number one, how they're how they're
environment.
How the fact that they're not environment friendly, and they're not also friendly to our bodies, because some of these single-use plastics, when you probably put them in the microwave, expose them to too much heat, it leaches plastic into your food. And they also said, let's get rid of all of these things and bring new packaging, which we have seen that it has proven to be a very big challenge in Lagos State as well. What do you think that our governments can do in cases like this?
Pardon me, I think there is a conflict of, understanding here.
Okay.
I went through a particular report, and what they blamed was Olo in that particular report.
The stone?
The stone one.
But the stone is not a machine. They say
grinding machine. That's why I said, okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, ma. All right, madam. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Sanni.
Good morning, sir.
Happy weekend in advance, sir.
Thank you,
very much. My take this morning is on Governor Ayedatiwa. What's it called?
Ayedatiwa.
Ayedatiwa of Ondo State. You see, madam, the development in Ondo State currently, in fact, I think it's a lesson to everybody. But let me first of all dwell on Mr. Ayedatiwa's person. Believe me sincerely, it exposes, and of course, it's typical of every Nigerian politician. It exposes the insatiability of us as human. I won't say of Nigerians, because you find that virtually in every part of Africa, when everybody wants to die in office, despotism, nobody really wants to leave a place of comfort to them. That's just it. We had it on record here that it was late Governor Lunloyo that said that even if you spend 1 month as governor of a state, you can never be poor again. This man has, and by that time, when Governor Lunloyo made that statement, resources were not as enormous as we have now. I think you understand. This man completed Akeredolu's tenure. He had another 4-year tenure, yet he's busy fighting everybody, manipulating every system just to continue to spend another 4 years. So that's why I said that for his person, it exposes our greed as a people. And coming back to the people of Ondo, according to Mr. Lekon, that people of Ondo State don't deserve pity as far as Ayedatiwa was ineptitude is, because I say yes, ineptitude is concerned. Why? Because they've collected money. He paid them for what he got from them, and so they are still enjoying what they got.
Do you have proof of this, sir? We don't have proof of this, so we don't have proof of the transaction.
Okay, allegedly, number one, allegedly. Then secondly, an old woman too said, AGBEYEWO. And let them be spending the money now. So that's it. But then it's unfortunate because even Mr. Ayedatiwa is not in any way close to the status of his predecessor. Honestly speaking, because we know the legacy Governor Akeredolu left in Ondo State. In fact, the Amotekun we are celebrating today, Akeredolu left that foundation. And he left the foundation, even against all odds, against various attacks from even the cabinet of late President Muhammadu Buhari. The man, against all odds, the man went out and said, we must have this thing, regional security. And that was what actually encouraged Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State and a few other governors from the southwest then. So what has this guy achieved for people in Ondo State? All he wants is to continue to remain in office for how long? May God save Nigeria, Sha. So that's just it, madam. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir. Same to you,
pleasure, madam. Thanks.
That's Mr. Salami from our town. All right, we're talking about Mr. Sanni,
the grinding stuff. The truth of the matter is that, I mean, let's not go into which one is the bad boy here. The government needs to wade in. If you are a local fabricator, the government now needs to come. Okay, you cannot use manganese-based.
Food grade.
You cannot use manganese-based material. Use stainless. If you cannot use stainless, maybe aluminum. If you cannot use aluminum, maybe steel. I mean, these are the things that the government is now going to come up with.
They need to now regulate.
And you need to do random sampling around.
Can we now talk about how these regulations then affect the people who use these things to work? Because the regulation in Lagos on single-use plastics, we know how it affected those who sell food, even the manufacturers who produce them. They still had these things in large quantities. You know, the people who even sell the plastics as well are those who use it, and also the resultant effects on the prices of some of the goods and services.
Styrofoam, I mean, when you use plastic, is a very bad boy in my opinion. It's something that shouldn't come near what you want to put in your mouth. That's for that. And in terms of financial value, you know, one use, single use, it's of very little. I don't want to say no financial value. It's very, very cheap compared to other.
Extremely cheap.
For manganese-based, whatever, I'm talking about grinding. I mean, there is use for manganese somewhere. There is use for this thing somewhere. The government can step in by saying that, okay, if you have an existing grinding machine that is inimical, that could be inimical to your health, bring it. We know how to make value out of it. We are going to give you what is okay for you and your customers. Take that, take care of the public. Let us find a way to commercialize this thing.
Which is a very good one, because that would, help these people, because looking at the current state of the economy, not many of them may be able to
afford a new one.
Yes.
So that is why the government comes in. Give it to us. Let us give you something new. I mean, it's just like barter, trade by barter. You will be sure of your health. We will be sure of the health of the public. And as regards what we have collected from you, don't worry about that. You will sell it maybe to Cambodia or Venezuela, something like that. I mean, it's simple.
All right. We hope that our lawmakers are listening to this and can, make this work. As we gradually wrap up the show this morning, we'll take a look at one more story before we wrap it up this morning. Now, there's this headline here. If you're wondering what's happening to El Rufai, the court has granted the ICPC access to El Rufai's digital devices. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the ICPC, that's the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, permission to access and analyze electronic devices recovered from the Abuja residence of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El Rufai. Now, Mr. Sanni, El Rufai's family and loyal ones, do we say loyal ones? Well,
loyalists.
Loyalists, thank you, sir. They have been, saying that the ICPC is holding Mr. El Rufai unlawfully, saying that they should either charge him or let him go. What's your take?
Thank you very much. If you are not charging someone with terrorism or murder or any criminal, any violent crime, then going by what the law says, it is a billable offense. What you are saying is that this guy, found a way to help himself while he was in office. I'm not saying he is guilty. I'm not saying he is not guilty. But what the law says is that is a billable offense. So why are you keeping him behind bars? Release him, then you establish a case against him. You have not taken him to court to say this is exactly what he has done, and you have already jailed him. I mean, not that he is in jail, but if you don't have freedom, it's as good as you are in jail. It's not making sense, and I'm not courting for this media trial at all. It's not making sense. You said you got a warrant to go and search his house. Now you are saying that you have secured another warrant. It's not like that. Once you get a warrant to get something from somebody, you already have all the access you need in this world to go into that thing. But it now shows that what we have on the ground is media trial and nothing more. They are not serious as regards how to take care of the matter. That is it's politics, and it's not. I'm not saying these guys are not guilty. I'm talking about Malami and El Rufai here, but it is very, very evident that the government is more interested in keeping them out of circulation at this very critical time where they are forming a new party and one of them wants to become governor of the state. I mean, Malami, they don't want him to go and challenge the APC governor. That is all I can see.
All right. Now, in the Senate, APC, they say, ADC rather, has dislodged the PDP in the Senate, as we have a number of senators who have defected to ADC. The number of senators in the ADC rose to 9, and that of the PDP, which used to be the main opposition party, dropped to 7.
I can tell you something, madam. Before, let's maximum 2 weeks, the PDP will be struggling to have one senator because they all want to go back. And the truth of the matter is that nobody can contest another platform of the PDP right now.
Very true. And hearing that, we do hope that they're able to reconcile, like the courts have said. We haven't heard anything. Strangely, the Agodi House has been very silent on this matter.
You do not reconcile with people you have different ideas with. If you and I are going to the same destination, I want to use the right path, you want to use the left path. Oh, you can come, madam, let's use the middle path. We are going to get there on time. But you want to go north, I want to go south. How do we reconcile?
You know, even the Bible says, can two work together except they be agreed? Adedamola Okunola on Facebook says, beautiful morning to you in the studio. With the way things are going in the country, it's more like this APC-led administration is bent on sucking the blood of Nigerians. The federal government should come to the rescue of Nigerians rather than inflicting more pain on us. Thank you. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you to those who called. Mr. Sanni, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
It is always an honor to be here.
This is how we wrap it up. Join the roundtable tomorrow, right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM for a recap of all of the things that have happened over the course of this past week. My name is Bolanle Uduekun Ayola. The sports crew is on hand, ready to give you the latest stories in the world of sports coming from the AM Sports. All right, thank you so much for listening to us. God bless you. Good morning. Have a wonderful day. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Not just another radio station.